Gold's silent return. Are central banks preparing for a new financial era? Take a deep breath. Pay attention. What I'm about to tell you now could completely change the way you view the global economy. While many are distracted by stock markets, digital currencies, or trade wars, central banks around the world are acting quietly, accumulating gold at a rate not seen since the 1960s, during the era of the historic Bretton Woods Agreement. Why are they doing this? And what could this mean for our financial future? Stay with me until the end, because those who do will understand exactly what is happening behind the scenes of the new global economy. Let's get to the facts. In the first half of 2024, central banks bought an all-time record 483 tons of gold. This number already surpasses the previous record, which had been set in 2023. To give you an idea, the global gold reserves of central banks already total around 36,000 tons. A volume that takes us straight to the levels that existed at the height of the Bretton Woods system, back in the 1960s. But what was Bretton Woods? In 1944, representatives from 44 countries met to establish a more stable international monetary system. In practice, the dollar was pegged to gold, and other currencies were fixed to the dollar. The aim was to ensure predictability for global trade and reduce exchange rate fluctuations. However, in 1971, the United States ended the conversion of the dollar into gold, marking the end of the system and beginning the era of pure fiat currencies, that is, based solely on trust. And now, more than half a century later, central banks seem to want to recover part of this security ballast. The reasons are clear. First, diversification. By buying gold, banks reduce their dependence on the dollar, especially in a scenario of geopolitical tensions and economic uncertainty. Second, strengthening monetary sovereignty. Gold is an asset that does not depend on governments or specific counterparties. It cannot be frozen or sanctioned, which makes it a strategic hedge in times of crisis. Furthermore, for the first time in 26 years, gold's share of global reserves exceeded 18%, surpassing the euro as the second largest global reserve, behind only the dollar. This movement signals a clear repositioning of global asset protection strategies. But why does this matter to you? When central banks, which are the world's largest institutional investors, begin to act in a coordinated manner, it means that major changes are on the way. This increase in gold reserves indicates that governments are preparing for a possible realignment of the international monetary system, or at least for a scenario of greater volatility. This can also have a direct impact on the value of fiat currencies, capital markets, and, of course, physical and digital assets in general. Those who follow the situation closely have already noticed that the massive purchases of gold are not a random movement. On the contrary, they are part of a silent redesign of the global financial map, possibly paving the way for new international settlement mechanisms, state digital currencies, or even hybrid guarantee systems. And here is an essential point. Although it may seem distant, these movements can have an impact on your daily life, whether in purchasing power, interest rates, or even in the appreciation of your investments. And now, the question that remains: are we returning to a system similar to Bretton Woods? Not yet. But the search for security and stability, symbolized by gold, is a clear sign that something is changing. Gold reserves not only protect countries against financial shocks, but also strengthen their position in multilateral negotiations. Those who understand this dynamic can anticipate, protect assets, and even take advantage of opportunities that many will only realize when it is too late. If you've made it this far, congratulations. As a reward, I want to leave you with a powerful thought: every great transformation begins silently. The signs are there for those who know how to observe. While the world discusses inflation, digital currencies, or artificial intelligence, gold silently returns to the center of the board. Are we facing a new financial era? The answer may be closer than we imagine. And you, will you ignore it, or will you prepare yourself? If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share it with those who need to understand what is really happening in the world. See you in the next content.